Chapter 252. Peak Showdown. Boom. Kang Chon raised his fist to counteract it, and the two collided in mid-air. A terrifying power erupted and swept through the 8 directions, the entire space trembling. The white ferocious beast was extremely powerful and incredibly fast, not below Kang Chon. He could only rely on the strength of the Overlord fist, enveloping the other party in his fist momentum and gradually pressing tightly. Swish, the surrounding void suddenly twisted up. A magnificent world unfolded, in which a golden-colored giant ape roared up to the sky. He was covered in blood and trembling, as if he had come to the end of his life. In addition, there was also a familiar monk collapsed in a pool of blood. The Buddha's light around him dimmed, his eyes about to close. Little Gold, Brahma Heart. Kang Chon's heart was suddenly shaken, and the Overlord fist that he had struck out paused for a moment. His mind suddenly panicked. Little Gold and Brahma Heart were both in danger and about to die. This couldn't be possible. Kang Chon fiercely glows in his eyes. A purple lightning ****** bolt comes out, and the skyrocketing aura erupts from his body, actually directly displaying the strongest combat state of Kang Chon hegemony blood. In the next moment, the surrounding space shattered as Kang Chon shattered the vacuum with a single punch, blasting a white ferocious beast away. Immediately, blood and flesh fell, and the ferocious beast wailed and roared. The white ferocious beast suffered a violent and heavy blow and fled towards the distance. However, a domineering figure stood in front of it, blocking its path of retreat. Die! A low roar emitted from Kang Chon's throat as he blasted down with a fist. Immediately, bloodlight exploded, and pieces of meat flew. The fierce punch exploded the white ferocious beast, and blood flowed everywhere. This ferocious beast, whose strength was comparable to that of an invincible level, and was proficient in illusion techniques, died a horrible death in Kang Chon's hands just like that. Boom. After resolving this powerful ferocious beast, Kang Chon opened up a cave on the nearby earth and stone mountain and temporarily resided there. What a powerful ferocious beast. I wonder what kind it is. Thinking of the battle just now, Kang Chon had some palpitations. If he hadn't displayed his Kang Chon hegemony blood's strongest battle state, I'm afraid that it would have taken him quite a bit of effort if he wanted to resolve that white ferocious beast. This was still his strong strength, in the place of Brahma Heart and Little Gold. I'm afraid that they would have been immersed in the Lord of Illusion and would have died miserably under that ferocious beast in the end. What really made Kang Chon's heart palpitate was the beast's illusions, which were simply out of this world, making him almost fall into the path. If it wasn't for the fact that he was worried about Little Gold and Fan Xin in the end, I'm afraid that he would have to shed his skin even if he didn't die this time. I wonder how many ferocious beasts of this level there are in the Heavenly City battlefield. Kang Chon suddenly thought, just as he entered the battlefield. He encountered such a terrifying ferocious beast, which made him even more vigilant. This battlefield still didn't know how many powerful ferocious beasts there were. In fact, Kang Chon had worried for nothing. This time, it was purely his bad luck that he was directly transported to that fierce beast's territory. A powerful beast like that could not be found in the entire battlefield, thus showing that Kang Chon's luck was heaven-defying. Kang Chon then closed down and cultivated in the cave, now that he hadn't parted ways with Xiao Jin and Fan Xin, and wasn't clear about the situation of the Heavenly City battlefield. He didn't want to act rashly. It was better to raise his cultivation as soon as possible. Although everything just now was an illusion, but in the illusion, he did try to shatter the realm of the vacuum, and these, although they could not increase his cultivation, were of great help to his comprehension. At the very least, the cultivation of the 9 revolutions, Zhuanggong was even faster, a few big steps. If one is able to regularly hone in that illusionary realm, it will be very helpful in improving one's heart and will. Kang Chon thought in his heart. It was a pity that ferocious beasts couldn't be domesticated, because ferocious beasts only had killing in their minds and even if they possessed intelligence, they existed purely for the sake of killing. Just like that, Kang Tian cultivated in the cave for a month until he had adapted to the gravity of this battlefield before leaving this place. In the vast expanse of the earth, Kang Tian traveled on foot, and after leaving that cave, he casually found a direction to advance in. Aimlessly, only hoping to find a silhouette of a human being to ask about the situation of this battlefield. However, the surroundings were so vast that it was hard to see half a silhouette. But he did meet quite a few ferocious beasts, all of which were at the Emperor level. And there were even quite a few ferocious beasts at the quasi-invincible level. Of course, for Kang Tian, who had already reached the invincible level, these beasts came to die several times. There was no threat at all. After continuing on for more than half a month, Kang Tian saw some figures one after another, but none of them were willing to talk to him, and when they saw him coming, they hurriedly dodged away. Kang Tian had no choice but to secretly follow one of them, so that he could at least get a proper direction. This was a young man, wearing a green shirt and long coat, with a sky-charging crown on his head. His cultivation was at the quasi-invincible level, which was not bad at all. However, with Kang Tian's strength, following him would not be detected at all. A few days later, Kang Tian saw more and more trialists. They were all heading in the same direction. Kang Tian immediately admired his own cleverness. If he didn't follow that quasi-invincible powerhouse in front of him, he was afraid that he wouldn't know where to go. This battlefield was just too big. He had just come in not long ago and didn't know anything, so he would naturally lose his way. Although with Kang Tian's strength, there wouldn't be any danger even if he lost his way. It would delay the time he needed to find little gold and Brahma hearts. Wow! Suddenly, a clamor came from the front, and the quasi-invincible powerhouse leading the way immediately stopped. Kang Tian looked with his extreme eyes and saw the mountains filled with trialists. It was truly a sea of people. A huge black mass that covered the entire mountainside. A whole scene of a sea of people. This is a peak of more than 3,000 meters above sea level. In this battlefield is also considered rare, very spectacular. The peak was lined with strange rocks, and the cold wind was raging, filling it with a depressing atmosphere. Hundreds of silhouettes stood proudly, each exuding an invincible aura, looking down upon the world. And on the mountainside, countless trialists had already gathered, talking and clamoring. Kang Tian frowned as he blended into the crowd, listening to the news coming from all around. Devil Heaven is finally going to battle the third prince of the dragon. It's really exciting. I heard that the 10 invincible powerhouses that surrounded Devil Sky last time were dispatched by the third prince of the dragon. And now the third prince of the dragon is preparing to do it himself. The two supreme powerhouses of the spirit sealing space are finally going to battle it out. And throughout the battlefield, countless trialists are rushing over from all directions. Look, those on top of that mountain are all peerless powerhouses, hundreds of them. The surrounding crowd was talking. Kang Tian finally understood what had happened, and he was very surprised in his heart. He had long heard of the great names of Devil Heaven and the third prince of the dragon in the city of Heaven, and it was said that these two were the two strongest people in the current spirit sealing space, and had always dominated the entire city of Heaven battlefield, looking down on no one. Kang Tian was also curious about these two. He just didn't want to see these two supreme powerhouses fighting just shortly after entering the battlefield. It was truly marvelous. Interesting, just in time to see their strength. Is it as powerful as the legends say? A look of interest appeared in Kang Tian's eyes as he mingled amongst the crowd, waiting for the battle to begin. With the loss of time, more and more trialists came from all directions. The mountains were filled with silhouettes of people, making it impossible to see the edge at a glance. Kang Tian couldn't help but secretly marvel at the popularity of Devil Heaven and the third prince of the dragon. It was simply unrivaled. Just one battle had attracted so many people. I'm afraid that the entire battlefield of trialists had rushed to watch the battle. What a terrifying popularity this must be. No wonder they were called supreme powerhouses. After another day had passed, the surrounding crowd gradually quieted down. Everyone stopped talking, and everyone looked up towards the mountaintop with a look of anticipation in their eyes. The same was true for the 100 or so peerless powerhouses on top of the mountain, as they retreated far away, giving way to a large area on top of the mountain. A month's time has come and gone. Demon Heaven and the third prince of the dragon should be coming soon. Among the crowd, someone whispered. Kang Chon then understood that the original Devil Heaven and the third prince of the dragon had agreed on a 7-day period of time. It seemed that they also wanted to make it known to the world and make it known to everyone. Otherwise they wouldn't have agreed on a 7-day period of time. This month's time was enough for countless trialists to come from all directions, which was why there was such a crowded scene now. It's coming. Suddenly, Kang Chon arched his eyebrows. His deep eyes blossomed with a purple light as he looked up into the sky. A black figure came and instantly appeared on top of the mountain. Boom! With the appearance of this person, the entire mountain peak shuddered violently, and a terrifying crack spread out along his feet, crawling all over the entire mountain peak. Many people retreated in horror as the entire mountain peak actually began to crumble, and they fled in alarm for a fear of being buried in it. Even those peerless powerhouses each flew into the distance. Everyone retreat to 300 miles away. A domineering voice rang out like rolling heavenly thunder, and the crowd was shocked beyond words. The original spectacular giant peak had long since ruptured beyond repair. Only a sharp arrow cliff remained standing proudly. On top of the cliff stood a black-clothed young man. His eyebrows were like swords. His eyes were radiant. The entire person was like a heaven-breaking sword, fighting to break through the heavens. Devil Heaven. Among the crowd, one of the trialists whispered, and then the surroundings were silent. A lone cliff, straight through the sky. A figure stood on top of the cliff, letting the cold wind blow and beat without frowning. His entire person was like a sharp sword, transmitting a sharp aura. This was Devil Heaven. He had sword eyebrows and starry eyes. His face was tough, and his shoulder-length hair danced with the wind, which gave him an ethereal aura. Below, countless cultivators looked up and held their breath. Everyone did not dare to raise their voices. It seemed that the underworld was filled with a great pressure, making people breathless. This was the might from Demon Heaven, even though he didn't intentionally explode his power. The aura that was innate and invincible all the way through had long since unintentionally spread throughout the space. So strong. Kang Chon gazed at the lone figure on the cliff, unprecedented gravity surfacing in his eyes. This was the first time he had revealed such a look since entering the spirit sealing space. Devil Sky was very powerful, so powerful that he was a little shocked. Honestly speaking, if he didn't rely on the power of the Blood Blade, I'm afraid that it would be a 50-50 fight between him and it. This was a powerful opponent. For the first time, Kang Chon felt the pressure, a feeling like an on his back. And at the same time, a shocking battle intent surged in his heart. Swish, suddenly, a stern gaze came and swept over the crowd where Kang Chon was. Discovered, Kang Chon was flabbergasted, and hastily withdrew his gaze on Demon Sky. His heart was secretly shocked. This Demon Sky's spiritual sense was too sharp. Above the lonely cliff, the cold wind was chilling. Devil Heaven frowned, looking at the crowd where Kang Chon was. A trace of doubt appeared in his eyes, softly whispering, "Strange. Why did a crisis rise just now, for no reason at all? Could it be that the crowd below is hiding an opponent that even I cannot underestimate?" Roar. Suddenly, a loud roar came from the sky, shaking the earth. Everyone was shocked by this roar, and couldn't help but raise their heads to look. Even Demon Heaven was no exception. Is it coming? Devil Sky gave up the doubts in his heart, His pitch-black gaze looked towards the sky, and his blazing eyes instantly emitted a shocking battle intent. Just as Devil Sky's words fell, a huge golden figure appeared in the sky, and when the crowd looked at it, they all revealed shocked colors. Devil Sky, killing this prince's men, today you will definitely die. A dragon's might roared the heavens and moved the earth in the fiery red clouds. A golden scaly dragon swayed its huge body, like a lofty mountain, suppressing down,